Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Education, SOE, Master's Degree Programs, Master of Arts, Distance Education, MAID, Second Year, MD 419 Staff Training and Development in Distance Education, Block 4 Online Training, Unit 3, Assessment and Evaluation of Online Training.
3.0 Introduction. In Block 2 Unit 4, you have learned various aspects and issues of evaluation. You can define the term evaluation in general also in the context of training and development. You can discuss the reasons for evaluation and important frameworks for evaluation of training programs as proposed by various authors. You may also discuss the changes affected by a training program at knowledge, skills and attitudinal levels of the participants. With regard to online education, training, you must see how online education works and which tools and techniques you should use. You have acquired some knowledge about these aspects in Unit 1 of this block. By this time you know the reasons for evaluation and for whom you evaluate. A training program, you may start work with the content of the training program, then focus on the methods and techniques used, software used, multimedia used, support provided, and so on. What methods and techniques you should use depends upon many factors. You should keep in your mind the advantages and disadvantages of each method and to decide the best method for evaluation, as you will include the participants, students, trainees, teachers, trainers, for evaluation of a training program. It is always better to inform them about the purpose of evaluation before you start. Motivation and attitude of the participants are important aspects of evaluation of a training program. In this unit, we shall highlight components of evaluation, or in other words, what an evaluation should entail, though there are differences of opinions among the experts in this field. We shall discuss some approaches for evaluating online learning, training. We shall present common opinions of the trainees and supervisors in relation to advantages and disadvantages of online training. Lastly, we shall present a case study of online training. 3.1 Objectives. After going through this unit, you should be able to identify the components of evaluation of online program. Discuss various approaches to evaluating online learning, training, and highlight the advantages and disadvantages of online training. 3.2 Components of evaluation of online program. Experts have different opinions with regard to components of evaluation of online program. You may identify the components from different points of view: technology point of view, participants point of view, trainers point of view, and institutional point of view. Technology point of view. Tools used for online learning, training. Environment, see Section 1.2, Unit 1, Strengths, Easiness and Quality of the software, etc. Participants' point of view, learning styles, nature of participation, e.g., taking part in activities and group discussions, virtual field trips, interactive essays, number of messages sent and their quality, learning, training outcome, success of the participants. Trainers' point of view, the way trainers conduct the training, reactions to the participants, method of holding seminar, discussion, group projects, and so on. Institutional point of view, the outcome of the training for the institution or organization as a whole. Some authors, Kawalek and Dalton, 1998-1999, recommend a holistic approach to evaluating an online learning, training program that includes soft data such as learner attitudes, motivation, and generalizability in addition to traditional hard data of performance measures. Rawat and Late, 1997, suggest learner characteristic assessments such as prior knowledge, special needs, post-assessment of the acquisition of new skills and knowledge, and measuring the transfer of that knowledge to real-life situations. Phillips, 1998, stated return on investment, ROI, will be used in the future to evaluate major expenditures in education and training. Evaluation of the success of education and training can occur at various levels. Level 1, participant satisfaction and evaluation of how training will be used. Level 2, learning outcome measures. Level 3, changes in on-the-job performance. Level 4, changes in business impact. Level 5, return on investment, the program's cost-benefit ratio. Return on investment analysis includes collecting both hard and soft data. Hard data, for example, includes costs and time, and soft data may include measures of job satisfaction, absenteeism, turnover, complaints, and grievances. Specific calculations for ROI in training are outlined in detail by Stolovich and Morris, 1998. While Phillips, 1998, suggests simplifying ROI calculations, Stolovich and Morris, 1998, suggest a complicated formula to assess the benefits and costs of any training program. Regardless of the approach, both propose systematic models for assessment purposes that can be manipulated to fit the evaluation context. Following is an outline of the process in both models. Shemikal, 2003. Phillips model. Step 1. Collect data, evaluation instruments, purposes, timing, and levels. Step 2. Isolate the effects of the program. Step 3. Convert data to monetary value. Step 4. Identify intangible benefits. Step 5. Tabulate program costs. Step 6. Calculate the return on investment, ROI. Stolovich and Morris's model. Step 1. Calculate potential for improved performance. Step 2. Calculate estimated training costs. Step 3. Calculate the worth analysis. Step 4. Train. Step 5. Calculate organizational ROI. Evaluating the cost, benefit of educational technology is a necessary approach for any organization moving forward in pursuing extensive use of educational technology within the organization. Components of a cost benefit analysis can be viewed from different perspectives in order to get a holistic look at the value of training from both the individual trainees and the organization itself. Rossi, Freeman. Programs as to other types of programs. He has cited commonly used Kirkpatrick and Phillips scales for example and stated that academic programs routinely measure student satisfaction, level 1, and learning effectiveness, levels 1 and 2 on that scales, in online courses. Some corporate and academic online learning programs attempt to evaluate impact at higher levels, behavior change, return on investment. Evaluating online training programs should be integrated into the strategic process. This will help to evaluate the training program from a broader perspective. Evaluation is not an one-time affair, it should be an ongoing process. See Unit 4, Block 2. Whether the training program is long-term or short-term one, the program may be evaluated in intervals instead of end-of-program evaluation. For example, if it is a 30 days training program for the new faculty of an open university, the evaluation may take place at 10 days intervals. A quick feedback from the participants helps to identify potential problems and guide the instructors, trainers to solve the problems during the program and make the training program more effective. According to Matteo and Sangra, 2007, every evaluative model or practice responds to the conceptions that we have about the teaching and learning process, which become visible in strategic decisions we make concerning the design of the educational model and the related assessment model. The evaluative model has the main function of establishing the guidelines for the integration of all gathered information in order to respond to the different objectives of the evaluative action. Quality of online learning should be measured in terms of student learning achievement and also the effectiveness of the teaching action and to the satisfaction of the assessment process. One of the most important concerns of distance education institutions is to develop a formative assessment system. Matteo and Sangra, 2007. Assessment applied to online training program must help to identify and apply improvements in the participants' learning process through a permanent feedback. A variety of approaches for evaluating online learning effectively are available. See Sainer, 2010, 3.3.1 Sloan-C Quality Framework. The Sloan Consortium, Sloan-C, has developed a framework for quality online education. Moore, 2002. It is a composite framework whose 5 key pillars or components: access, student satisfaction, learning effectiveness, faculty satisfaction, and cost effectiveness, can be used separately or in combination with a variety of measures to evaluate the effectiveness of online learning. Sainer opined that although a major focus of this conceptual framework is supporting online learning programs that are equal or better in quality to campus-based programs in higher education, all of the framework's 5 pillars also focus on effectiveness, and the faculty satisfaction and cost effectiveness also apply to quality improvement. The Sloan-C Quality Framework easily accommodates evaluating results and process and integrates well with other evaluation tools such as the Kirkpatrick and Phillips scales. These scales correspond closely with student satisfaction, KP Level 1, learning effectiveness, KP Level 2, and cost effectiveness, K Level 4, P Level 4 and 5. 3.3.2 The CEIT model. Sainer, 2005, developed a 4-staged model for evaluating online learning. called the CEIT model. The model focuses on comparisons, C, effectiveness, A, quality improvement, I, and transformation, T. Sainer explained that using comparisons to understand the key attributes or capabilities of various online learning practices can be useful. The results of comparative studies can be used to improve programs. Sainer argued that focusing on effectiveness can be deceptively simple. Is it effective? What elements make it effective? What changes would make it more effective? But it enables evaluation of online learning on its own terms and can provide useful information on what works and does not work. According to Sainer, evaluating quality improvement focuses on measuring the effects of implementing changes, so the evaluating product and process frame is particularly applicable here since both influence the results. In practice, Sainer explains with an example: online learning object repositories often do not improve quality despite containing excellent resources because existing processes do not adequately support their use. Good product, bad process. Conversely, online courses often link to a variety of learner support services, but the services themselves may not be adequate. Good process, bad product. The last stage of the model, transformation, focuses on how online learning programs affect the organization or institution. In brief, the CEIT model accommodates application of well-established evaluation tools through determining what is valuable about the results and process of a project, and focusing on the ultimate aims of improvement and transformation. 3.3.3 The portfolio approach. Matteo and Sangra, 2007, explained a new paradigm for assessment design in distance education and online learning. They have discussed some of the possibilities opened by an open-source platform, i.e. Moodle, which appears to be one of the best designed platforms to support instructive processes that are closer to the new paradigm, Degiyama's. Also, how learning takes place. The portfolio represents an important tool of integrated management in distance education context. The student, trainee can choose which product are to be included in the portfolio. The portfolio allows the student, trainee to present his, her creation to the teacher, trainer so that this gets a better understanding of the work in a global perspective. Trainee and trainer get an opportunity to discuss the key elements in a concrete and intelligent way. Debating the contents of the portfolio, all have a clear awareness of the student's, trainee's level of development as an individual and as a participant in an educational, training program. From digital point of view, technicians tend to understand the portfolio as a digital container that is able to store texts, images, sound, and even software instruments in order to manage a big and diverse amount of information. Abrami. It forms a dynamic and comprehensive meeting space for the processes of instructional, evaluative, and personal development of the student. Barbera. Paradigm, theory, model, and measurement. However, the emphasis on input process output is firmly embedded in the paradigm level. According to Yu, 1999, the proposed structural framework endorses a paradigm that emphasizes input process output of human learning inspired by cognitive psychology. This paradigm challenges the input output emphasis under a black box approach. An input, which is usually a treatment, is delivered to the intended audience. The output, which is usually an observable outcome, is evaluated and the effectiveness of the treatment is inferred. It is stated that under this framework, the procedures for evaluating web-based instructions could be viewed in two dimensions. The first dimension is level of abstraction, defining various constructs and concepts, defining variables, developing or applying instruments to measure the variables in the measurement, and determining the relationships among the variables based upon the data collected by the instruments. The second dimension is the input process output stream, defining the media properties, defining the mental constructs and mapping them to the media properties, defining the criteria of achievement, specifying the behavioral outcomes. Media properties. It is important to define what web-based instruction is by identifying what certain features are introduced by the implementation of the medium. The evaluation should focus on those specific properties. Typical examples of web-based instructions properties are learner control, modules that present self-customized sequences to various learners, virtual communities that provide chat rooms, threaded discussions, and listserv groups, hypermedia with graphical representations and animated illustration of information, hyperlinks to worldwide resources. Yu, 1999. One way to treat the tools which carry specific media properties as numeric variables and track the frequency of using the tools, e.g., the number of chat threaded discussion, and listserv messages could indicate the utilization of the participants, the number of time spent, and the number of page accessed. Within the web-based instruction could reflect the user engagement. Several web traffic tracking technologies can be used to collect data for studying user patterns on web-based instruction. U. Jannash Penal, D. Gangi. I. Openness to learning. Opportunities. E. Self-concept as an effective learner. E. Initiative and independence in learning. IV. Informed acceptance of responsibility for one's own learning. V. A love to learn. V. Creativity. V. Future orientation. And V. The ability to use basic study skills and problem-solving skills. Guglielmino, 1977. Guglielmino, 1999. Achievement. The attitudinal and cognitive change could result in improvement in internet knowledge and skills, using web search, email, newsgroups, threaded discussion etc. Behavioral outcome. It is expected that test scores of internet skills could predict the application of internet skills reflected by observable behaviors. If the participants, for example, are the Open University teachers, then incorporation of internet technologies into teaching, course designing, and providing support to the students are expected. There may be different variables such as the number of web pages developed for courses, the frequency of using the internet as a source of teaching materials, and so on. These variables could be measured using various techniques like survey, interview, and on-site observation. 3.4 Advantages and disadvantages of online training. You may find reports and discussions on advantages and disadvantages of online training in books, journals, internet, and so on. You will find some common advantages and disadvantages as reported by the participants and trainers, supervisors. Here, we shall mention some advantages and disadvantages of online training as reported by the trainees and supervisors of an online training program. Shemikal, 2003. The common advantages as reported by the trainees are no travel, convenience and time saver, could do at own pace and be able to work around own schedules, being able to stay home and do it, no travel cost. The common disadvantages as reported by the trainees are not having classroom interaction, discussion, not able to ask questions and or clarify information, missing out on great stories, meeting people and making friends, going too fast, would still required to work, no hands-on experience. The common advantages as reported by the supervisor are more current and updated information, employees can train while doing duties, no need to leave home, family. The common disadvantages as reported by the supervisors are loss of experience from discussion with other students and instructors, no other disadvantage. These are not complete lists. You may see Shemikal, 2003, for detail. Report. You know well that the responses you obtain after the training program provide very good input for evaluating the same training program. 3.5 Postgraduate Diploma in E-Learning. PGDEL, a case. Indira Gandhi National Open University, IGNOU, offers the online post-graduate diploma in E-Learning, PGDEL, from January 2010 to develop professional competencies in offering online programs in the country. The program is offered through the Staff Training and Research Institute of Distance Education, STRIDE. The objectives of the program are to develop human resource capabilities in planning, designing, developing, implementing, and evaluating e-learning programs. The program has blended learning with compulsory face-to-face practical at the headquarters, intensive online training to develop e-learning professionals, strong project work component to facilitate hands-on work in online learning tools, personalized online student support, use of open educational resources, OERs, and recommended texts, use of Moodle. Learning management, synchronous delivery methods using online conferencing tools, and extensive use of discussion forums for both academic and personal support. 3.6 Academic Counselors Training. Online, ACT Online, a case. Academic Counselors Training Online, ACT Online, program is designed specifically for those who are engaged in or wish to be engaged in the tasks of providing tutoring, counseling and other technology-mediated support to the distance learners. The program is offered through the Staff Training and Research Institute of Distance Education, STRIDE. The ACT Online is grounded in both the theory and practice of open distance learning. Some of the important contents covered in this program are ODL concept, models of ODL, student support services, tutoring and counseling, handling of assignments, evaluation of assignment responses with tutor comments, development of study skills, support to the educationally disadvantaged students, use of new technologies for students, support, and so on. The objectives of the program are to develop human resource capabilities in planning, designing, organizing student support services with special reference to tutoring and counseling, evaluating assignments, using new technologies, and so on. The ACT online program consists of 3 components. These are I. Study materials which are uploaded in LMS, E. PowerPoint presentations which support the study materials, and E. Video programs which supplement the study materials. Each component facilitates the participants to work on their assignments online. This program is entirely developed in IGNOU LMS, developed in ASP.NET and MySQL. The inbuilt discussion forum facilitates the peer-to-peer and facilitator-to-peer interaction as well. IGNOU LMS also provides calendar, in which participants get tasks and schedule of the program. Announcement is another component in which the participants get the latest information and update of the program. The main component of the LMS is My Portfolio, where participants get the facilities to upload their assignments and receive marks after evaluation is done by the evaluators. 3.7 Summary. In this unit, we have discussed component of evaluation of online program. We have mentioned that you may identify components from different point of view, technology, participants, trainers, and institutional. We have touched upon very briefly on few models like Phillips model, Stolowich and Morris's model. We have discussed various approaches to evaluate online learning, training. A variety of approaches for evaluating online learning effectively are available. The SLOANC quality framework is a composite framework whose 5 key pillars or components: access, satisfaction, learning effectiveness, faculty satisfaction, and cost. Effectiveness can be used separately or in combination with a variety of measures to evaluate the effectiveness of online learning. The CEIT model, developed by Sena, focuses on comparisons: C. Effectiveness, A. Quality improvement, I. and transformation, T. We have also highlighted the portfolio approach and an input process output structural framework. There are some common advantages and disadvantages of online training. At the end, we have highlighted 2 case studies of IGNOU postgraduate diploma in e-learning and academic counselors training online. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.